Okay. Chat with
Please
Teresa.
leave my Mary alone. She's suffered so much, she deserves some rest.
Alright. Yeah, so where's Toby? Oh, do we have to go back to the premises to get him, do we? Quite possible. Toby, where are you? Ah! We're going to get Toby! Go, Toby!
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case. I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cup.
What a good boy you are, Toby, behaving so well.
Search, Toby.
Yep. Well, it's unusual we get to see it from Toby's perspective, eh? Nice change, though.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Yep, round the corner. There you go, Toby.
The scent leads to the well, I should check it.
Taking the path? Kind of robbery is this? Oh, spoke too soon.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Go and search them then. That'd be the best idea. Savoring the moment of the house. Okay. Ooh, a hook.
This hook might be useful. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest. This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
Okay. Trying to bury something, maybe?
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it? If only I had something with which I could lift that object. If only I had something with...
Windlass. Aha. Well, well, well.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
Okay. Oh.
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
Right. Okay, oh, never mind. Okay, let me see if I can make some deductions from all this. I might say 2. See where it leads. Imitated robbery could be imitated to explain silverware was not supposed to be found. Yeah, I agree. I think it's been placed there like someone knew where they were going and what they were doing. Very imitated. If they really were that bad, they would have stolen a lot more than what they did. Nah, this was personal. This could be in Jesus to bloke. I'll say, for the moment, I'll say poker blow. If I was to go with the whole sailor thing, change this, see what we come up with. Okay. No, matches trend. Okay. Sent. Okay. Couple of things to ask about.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
Okay.
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Doesn't believe a word they're saying, and I'm not sure.
Oh, what a horrible thing to have happened.
I think dialogue. Okay, so
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
exactly.
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery. What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another
Whoa.
day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Okay. Okay. Murderous visitor. Born strong. Okay. Just see if we can actually get anything at Baker Street. I feel like we're missing something, but
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut. Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope. fibers from this cart appear to be different. The fibers from this cart appear to be...
And last but not least,
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
sailor background. Look for a sailor. Yep. Oh yeah, the rock. I completely forgot about this. There we go. Rock of Gibraltar survival. Arrive at the Rock of Gibraltar, a ship returned. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, Carnard Building, Jane Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is. The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Damn right we will. Oh. Get the Hagen screwed.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893, and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
No doubt.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Yeah, here we are.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Okay. I suppose I might just...
This list shows... This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot... This officer is still at sea. I do not think that this sailor has any... I do not... This officer... I do not think...
Ah, right. That's how it's selected.
This officer was on a I do not think that...
Oh, right.
This
Here we go.
officer was on a ship... Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime,
Oh.
and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Okay.
This officer is still at sea.
Okay.
This officer is still at sea. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Right. Call Crocker to confront him. Okay. How are we going to do that?
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him. Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Oh God. We're gonna need to be ready. I sense some timed cutscenes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Okay. Thing there? Huh. Really? Oh. Paper, okay. Knife, okay.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
Pretty much.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right if there was no evidence.
What
True.
then?
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Now, you would know how to do sailor's knots, right?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Croker is lying. His involvement is clear. He appeared as soon as he heard that I was waiting for him, thus signaling his guilt. Captain Croker is aboard the shaft on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. He has a confident demeanor. I mean, to be fair, it is highly likely. Although, actually, if he's on board a ship, why would he have clean boots? So, that alone sort of questions his alibi. I'm not saying sailors can't just have clean boots and go on ships. I'm not saying that's not possible, but that, you know, when you sail the sea, you don't exactly, you don't hop on a ship and expect to stay and have clean boots the entire time. And it's just not going to happen. It may, but as far as I'm aware, that just doesn't happen. So, with that little giveaway sign, I'm going to signal his involvement. Yeah. Sailor, yeah. Makes sense. Murdered by the one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile, high-ranking sailor. Jack Croker is a murderer, and you will bring him and his accomplice, Lady Brackensall, to justice. The murderer was committed in self-defense. Jack Croker is defending a woman against violent and diplomatic man. The mystery is solved, but he decided to keep it secret. There is no need to inform the police. You know what? And I know you're gonna think, oh god, he's gonna go down that path. But hear me out, and I would be surprised if people didn't go this way. She's suffered enough. She's been beaten, abused by her husband, or to be, you know what I mean. And he obviously knew her. He's obviously been good to her. She didn't know anyone else in London, so she got probably quickly married, which not always a good thing, especially back then. So the one person she knew was the captain, our first mate from that voyage. So they had time. They would have certainly had quite a bit of time to get to know each other. So he's defending her. You know, and if it's going to be a mad drunk who's probably going to die anyway in like 6 months to a year, so not only is he putting him out of his misery, but he's also given a young woman her freedom back. So, you know what? I'm absolving Captain Croker. I am. I think they're all legitimate reasons I've just given, or near enough. Yeah, I'm going to absolve him.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know, because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London.
Yep.
And because you love her.
If that wasn't obvious.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Oh God, no.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear, and it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
No, you don't. Oh.
Please forgive me, Captain Crocker. I wished only to test your sincerity, and your words and deeds have far exceeded my expectations. See here, Captain Crocker, we'll do this in due form of law. You are the prisoner. Watson, you are a British jury. Captain Crocker, the evidence shows that you acted without premeditation and used reasonable force to protect an innocent victim from her husband's brutality. Your devotion pushed you to attempt to kill yourself in order to protect the one you love. Now, what say you, gentlemen of the jury?
Not guilty, my lord.
Vox populi, vox dei. You are acquitted, Captain Crocker. So long as the law does not find some other victim, you are safe from me.
Mr. Holmes.
It is a great responsibility that I take upon myself, but I will give Lestrade an excellent lead, and if he can't avail himself of it, I can do no more. Come back to your lady in a year, and may her future and yours justify us in the judgment which we have pronounced this night. Inspector, I'm afraid that the murderers have escaped us.
What? Do you mean to tell me that you failed? Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I mentioned the murderers, not the case. It is obvious that the crime was committed by 3 criminals who cannot be the Randalls.
You really think so?
You only need to find a gang of 3 thugs wandering around. I can trust you to do that.
If they exist, I'll catch them.
You'll find someone, I have no doubt of it. Goodbye, Inspector.
Another coup assisting the United States robbery the Randall gang. Rocky used the sea knife cut on the head, the silver in the well. Jack Crocker defended. Yeah, agreed. Very conscientious. You know, believe it or not, the first time, like literally, not even kidding, like the first time, my first run through of this game, when well, it must be like 2016, maybe I'm not 100% sure, but because I wasn't used to quick time events in that regard. Like, there's some things, but just the speed, just how instantly they appear without warning, and literally, I'm not kidding, right? I was just sort of sitting there, just watching, just expecting just to play out. I wasn't even holding, like, I was on the controller, but I wasn't sort of fingers at the ready, and it was like a mad scramble. Like I can't even tell you. Just like trying to, I was just smashing buttons, just like, and he killed himself. Captain Croker killed himself, and I'm like, no, I wish I'd known. So, oh god, I felt it like that, and there was another one, like another quick time thing, or something. I'm not 100% sure, but it was something similar to that, and it was one of those which, it was one of those. If I'd known, I would have been able to avoid it, and so I did a second run through like pretty much straight after to actually get those quick time events and remind myself when they were and actually got them right so that I didn't have to go through it. And I was so close to going through. I was like, no, no, you're not. You're not gonna let him get. He's not gonna let him take his life. There's no way in hell we're letting that happen. I had to be quick about it. So, but I'm really pleased I did. So, um, anyways, we're gonna end this here, and I will see you next time. We're going to be beginning the Kew Gardens drama. This is excuse me. This is going to be a bit of an adventure one. There's so many buildings, and it's a bit of a lengthy one, I think. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll see you next time we start that the drama in the gardens. See you then.